Mama, what's the matter here? I'm waiting, son, waiting on Roosevelt. I'm waiting on Roosevelt. The rent was due and the lights was out. I said, tell me, Mama, what's it all about? We're waiting, son, waiting on Roosevelt. Just waiting on Roosevelt. My sister got sick and the doctor wouldn't come, 'cause we could not pay him the proper sum. Waiting on Roosevelt. We're waiting on Roosevelt. Then one day they put us out of the house. Ma and Pa was meek as a mouse, still waiting, waiting on Roosevelt. Still waiting on Roosevelt. Those cold winds blow, didn't have no place to go. Pa said, I'm tired of waiting on Roosevelt. I can't get a job, I can't get no grub. Backbone and navel's doing the belly rub. I'm tired of waiting on Roosevelt. Tired of waiting on Roosevelt. What's hungry and cold done stop believing what they've been told by Roosevelt. Roosevelt. 'Cause the pot's still empty and the cupboard's still bare, and you can't build a bungalow out of air. I'm tired, Mr. Roosevelt. I'm tired. I'm tired of waiting on Roosevelt. Mr. Roosevelt, listen, what's the matter here?
All right, you guys hear me now? Hopefully. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. The little meter says it's working. Yep, there we go. Jesus. Professional SEO expert right here. Not a video guy, clearly. You think I'd have this stuff down by now? You know, I was so worried about the music and picking that stuff right, and everything was looking good, and the meters were all going. I didn't even bother to check my mic, and I should know better by now. But I appreciate you guys and your patience with that. So, as I was lip syncing to you all, welcome to SEO This Week, episode 182. This week we have 11 stories or articles for you that I think you'll appreciate. A couple of them have some tools that I think may be helpful. We're going to go over a method that I found that I think is actually pretty cool, and I've done a version of this, but I think that you'll appreciate this a little bit more because you don't have to buy anything. You've already got the stuff on hand for you. As I was saying earlier, this is the link. It's SEO This Week, episode 182. You can see that down in the description. And if you're on the Facebook or Periscope, you get the link there. Periscope, I think you're going to have to read the lower half or lower thirds, but it's okay. You'll get there. And I appreciate all of you watching. As always, got the chat running. It looks pretty small on my end, so I read another window, but hopefully you guys can see that and just kind of keep up with each other, say hi to each other. Appreciate that. And with that, let's get on with the news. First one is it's a landing page guide, and if you are not familiar with Brian Dean over at backlinko.com, he puts out some decent content. I'm pretty sure by now he's already got a team and stuff, and he's like, hey, do this, and someone else is writing it, but they're putting together some good stuff. And this one was timely for me because I'm rebuilding the landing page or building the landing page for my SEO course to kind of sell that and to get some affiliates and all that kind of stuff going on, right? So it's actually not like smart guy. I want to put it that way. He is written with pictures. There's different types of landing pages on there, and the format is already outlined for you and everything. And all you got to kind of do is look at what you're trying to sell or how you're trying to get a conversion. And it will, there's an example for you on that guide. So it's really cool. It's a good example of a super evergreen piece of content for yourselves. As well, if you're looking for that and kind of how to format that, in particular in the marketing space, obviously, but you can probably pull that off in most informational searches as well. I think you'll like that. Next is Microsoft Clarity. It's a new service they just released. It came out, I want to say like 2 or 3 days ago, right? But what it is it's a cross between Hotjar and Google Analytics. So if you're using heat maps and all that other stuff in Hotjar and then Google Analytics, you might want to check out Clarity because it kind of combines those two. I didn't mess around with it a whole lot, but the overwhelming thing to me was the sessions recordings, which basically just, if you don't know what those are, you're just kind of watching your visitors. It records what your visitors do and shows you where they click, right? And then the heat map feature there too, just show you that, you know, if your button is what you want everyone clicking and it's hot, then you know you're doing okay. Obviously, there's more uses for heat maps, but those are the two ideas I got for you right now on the fly. It's I don't know if it'll help you with getting indexed in Microsoft search. It's not Bing anymore. I think they rebranded. I don't even know what they call it now. But it's another thing you can kind of liar check Google Analytics if you want to. That's what I use Clicky for. I typically always install Google Analytics and get Clicky on my websites, and I let Clicky kind of liar check Google Analytics for me, because Google Analytics might filter something as a bot, or it might say I'm getting more traffic than I'm supposed to be getting because of bots. It doesn't happen very often, but it's nice to have that. And Microsoft Clarity seems like a good option to do that. And you can check and get your heat map stuff and your recording stuff. I'm gonna install it on one of my affiliate sites, see how it goes, and I might actually cancel Clicky, just because one of the other features of Clicky is the heat maps that I get out of it too. So we'll see how that goes. Third article of note is it's an article about how to analyze traffic drops. I think this is kind of important since, Google farts and then 300 people are on the internet wondering if there's an update or something. Or, their page bounces after they build 1,000 backlinks and they don't know why, all that stuff. So analyzing traffic drops is kind of really the first skill that you need behind how to do on-page if you want to be an SEO. And I think that this is a great list to go through before you get on the groups and start crying and wondering what's going on with my site, or is there a Google algorithm update? I'll just save you all the trouble. Yes, there's always a Google algorithm update. It happens all the time, every day. It causes bounces and natural fluctuations within the rank cycle, right? So don't always freak out and look at this list here. It's really, I don't want to call it a dummy's guide, but think of it that these are all those things that we may have done to ourselves that kind of screwed us up a little bit before we go blaming Google. It just kind of works out a little bit easier and saves you some hassle if you have a list to go ahead and get started with. Number 4 is the use of data vocabulary. If you're not big into schema, there's microdata and then there's JSON-LD. And a lot of the microdata is built off of that data vocabulary database. It's essentially a sister website to schema.org. It's datavocabulary.org. Well, Google is officially ending their support of data vocabulary. So if you've implemented a lot of stuff with data highlighters, if you are still using a lot of the, there's some themes and stuff that have reviews schema already built in, where all that stuff is displaying to get your review stars and all that stuff. That's all might be using data vocabulary. So you need to go check that out. And eventually what they're going to do is start sending you error messages saying that you're using this data set. And you need to fix it. You need to go switch it over to schema.org. It's not, at the end of the day, it's not really that hard. Most of that stuff is kind of one for one. It's just a little bit of a hassle if you depended on it. Most people that I know at this point, they've learned JSON-LD and they learned that method of schema, and mainly because you can hide it, right? You can put it on your website and it just it's gone. So think of it that way. And then finally is voice search. If you've been following me around long enough, you know that I'm not a voice search fanboy, and not really, everyone came out and said it was the next greatest thing since sliced bread. And I was like, whatever. People, there's people that joined me on my side, and then there's other people that were cheering voice search and thinking it was the greatest thing. And now it's kind of come full circle where everyone realized, it's okay if you're an informational site, because you're get rid of, or you're removing some of the traffic that you may or may not get from a browser by not having that question answered inside of a voice search platform. But you do get the branding benefit that you might not otherwise have gotten if voice search wasn't there. So this talks about some of the things that Google uses for Google Home. It talks about the differences between the voice search on your phone and the voice search on your home speaker device, and a whole bunch of different aspects of the things that you might want to take into consideration. Honestly, they say like 44% of people use voice search to research products. I don't see it unless they already know the product, right? Like they're watching a commercial and I want to buy that thing they do the voice search to see how much it costs. That would make sense to me. But to say that 44% of people are doing it, I just don't see it. And then from informational searches perspective, that might actually be helpful. The mobile version, not so much as the desktop version. So if you have a recipe site, the mobile version will say, I found these recipes. And you can go over there, and the desktop version will actually read off your recipe for them. So think about it that way, and think about your application and if your website is actually going to be able to leverage that more. One good way to know that right off the bat is just to look at your analytics and see how much voice search stuff you got going on already. It'll tell you if your users are using it, and if you're capturing it, and then you can kind of balance that out and see if that's something that you want to try for. All right, and the final story is a content creation method. And I told you guys I'm not going to do this, but this is actually a pretty good method. So I'm going to share the screen. And as you see, it comes from Black Hat World. Check it out. If you're not a member, I think when you click the link, you're going to actually have to sign up. But it's okay. It's worth it. I've been a member over here since 2009. You can see I'm still a newbie because that's how active I am in there. But occasionally you find some good stuff. And what this is, there's an app called Gboard, and some sticky notes and Grammarly keyboard, and then a writer and an internet connection, right? And that's all you really need. And what you do is download this application, and it's for Gboard is actually a dictator, and it just you speak into it, and it'll type out your words for you. Duh, right? And then you take that and you put that into Grammarly, and Grammarly has an app. I don't know if I could actually use Grammarly on my phone, but okay. And then you drop it in there, and you get it all cleaned up for you, and then you can put it into this other thing and kind of sort your content and where your content goes, and kind of share that with the Google Doc or whatever you want to do if that's your thing. I've actually done something like this, and I thought this was kind of cool because they're actually using a mobile phone, and I don't know about you guys, but in the mornings, typically I'll go out and take a walk with the dogs, 45 minutes to an hour. I'm listening to the audiobook, and then sometimes I just don't have anything I want to listen to. This is it'd be a good opportunity to use one of these transcribing things inside of your mobile phone and turn that into a piece of content. And trust me, you can get like long form content really, really quick doing this dictation model. And I used to do it, and sometimes I do, but more often than not, no. But I used to do it with drag and dictate on my Mac, and just open it up. I find an article I want to talk about the same subject, and I can actually read it in my head and then paraphrase it to drag and dictate, and then go on and do that paragraph to paragraph. And I'm essentially rewritten an entire piece of content in way less time than it would have taken me to do it, to type it. And I've been able to add my own insights and all that stuff. So whenever you hear someone going, find a piece of content that's doing really well and make it better, that's kind of how you do it, right? Another play on this is actually not using the mobile phone, but using a digital recorder. So if you're asking for enough money from your clients, and you have clients that are in markets that really need their input when you're talking about writing content, and a lot of that is medical and legal for the most part, because those boards will chase them down if there's things are wrong, right? You can send them a digital recorder, and then have them just talk about that subject, right? You give them a list of 4 to 6 subjects. You say, here, take this in 2 weeks, send it back to me with your interpretations in recorded on this. Start with the title, give me blah, 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 blahs, and then do the next one, and do the next one, and the next one. And even busy people can talk inside of a digital recorder. And then you take that and get it transcribed, and then turn that into an article. And you haven't really done any work. Your client's done most of it. And you've provided a much better service for them. There's something tangible, like I'm getting this $200 recorder. I'm being gracious, I wouldn't spend $200. But get this recorder, you sending back this file, you getting the transcript, it's getting rewritten by editors, it's getting optimized by the SEO, it's getting put on my website, and look at its ranking, and now I'm getting more sales and clients. See, that's kind of how that whole process works. So check out this one from Sparkle 6 on Black Hat World. I think you're actually, honestly, I think you're gonna like that whole idea. It really does work well when you employ it. Couple things you got to remember when you're doing that. When you get to the editing part where you're getting to actually doing the dictating, just let your software go. If it screws up, don't stop it. Just keep going, and you'll find that it's actually more enjoyable, especially if you're using something like drag and dictate. It's got to learn you, right? And learn the way you talk and learn how you pronunciate and enunciate words and all that stuff. So, be a little bit patient with that. Don't try to edit it on the fly because you'll just slow yourself down. Just go to town, let it do it, and then go back and edit it after you're all done. That would be my number one tip there. And then if you're doing the digital recorded to client thing, that's all outsourcing. So, and if you have clients in different cycles, you can buy 4 of those digital recorders and send them off to get 2-3 months of articles spoken about in two weeks, and then just kind of rinse and repeat and send those recorders back out over and over again. You only have to pay for them one time, less a client steals it and takes off. But it's kind of, it'll happen sometimes. It's just the way it is. But there you go. Alrighty. Have any questions on that? I think the news is actually pretty straightforward. We got a decent set of articles in there. Let me see what else is in there. Some tips on Google indexing. I got the Google Sheets add-ons. You probably have seen that post has actually get spread around a lot, but I think that you guys will enjoy that. I like messing with Google Sheet add-ons and just trying to find cheaper or freer ways to use those things. Let's see. What else did I got in there? Oh, there's a couple articles on Google News sites. So if you are in the Google News realm and you have news websites, there's an article on there or a video specifically of people talking about what you need to do to optimize those news sites a little bit better. I actually have 10 of them myself, and I'm still messing with that. I think it's pretty interesting. And then there's another article about what journalists want. Like people actually went out and talked to journalists and got their feedback and what you need to be as a SME, a subject matter expert for a journalist in order for them to cite you. That is really timely. And I say timely because Doug Cunningham, he just released a course on Haro. And I know there's a bunch of people offering services for Haro, and we'll respond and build you links for $400 and all that stuff using Haro, which is great. Gotta love capitalism. Doug's got a course out. It was $297, and then you could pay like $497 for some one-on-one time. I think the course was actually enough. I'm going through it right now. If you've ever watched the Doug video, he talks really, really slow, whereas opposed to I talk kind of fast. But if I listen faster, so just anticipate that you're probably going to need to speed him up. Yeah, Doug Cunningham, I think I can look it up. Doug Cunnington. There you go. Jesus, Cunnington. Yep, the KGR guy. Yeah. Yeah, so the courses I'm going through right now, I bought it myself, so I'll give you guys my my insights on it next week, and I think that if you guys want to try it out, in the meantime, it's kind of add to the course for all of you, just to share a little bit of knowledge with that is if you have access to this little tool, it's called Buzz Bundle. Let me resize it for whatever reason it's not showing up good in there. There you go. So, and Buzz Bundle is part of the SEO Power Suite tools, and you have heard me recommend this thing forever. More so the tools and Buzz Bundle. Back in the day when I first tried it, this was actually a complete turd. It never updated and all that stuff. But they're getting better and better. But these are some journalist Twitter handles that you can use. I originally got turned on the journal Twitter handles from Glenn Allstop, and he showed one, but that one was actually kind of fried out. So I went and just kind of did some research and found four. So there's journal requests, journal requests, hashtag journal requests. Hopefully you guys can see that. I can't copy it. Journal request, PR requests, and when you do these, they actually get syndicated just by this account. And there's some different other Twitter accounts that syndicate it too, so you can kind of think of the uses for that. But really, this PR request one is, let's say you launch a product and you want some buzz about it, and maybe someone will write about it. I wouldn't anticipate this working, but maybe someone will write about it. But there's a bunch of people following this hashtag, and you can just put it in there and see if you get lucky. If anything, you might generate a little bit of traffic. And then there's help a reporter out, Harrow's new one. It's # URGHARO, and that will hook you up with the releases from Harrow as they come out. So I've not followed this, like tracked this based off of their mailing to see if they're doing this in real time. But they are using it a lot, and I refresh this once a day, depending on what I want to do. And then another one I follow is Ask SEO. It's Bill Slosky. He made this one. You do Ask SEO, and you can tag him and you ask questions. Not very many people use it. I was thinking maybe we should hijack it, just put Ask SEO and turn it into ours, and see how that works. But it's an interesting one, especially if you are wanting to help out other SEOs. Again, it's not really popular, so I update this every day, and you see the last tweet for that was 3 days ago. So that is what it is. And this one I'm still waiting for. We need that for today. All right, let me get to some questions. Let's see. Do you know Spinner Chief? This is from Jesper. Do you know Spinner Chief? Is yes. Can you recommend it? I have it. I've had it for quite some time. There's a web version and the software version. I use the software version mostly, and I use it mostly when I'm doing manual stuff. Otherwise, I'm just like ease of use, Word AI or Spin Rewriter. But Spinner Chief's not too bad. If you compare, I would say it's compared to the old version of the Best Spinner that was all desktop, right? Just keep in mind it's pure. What do I want to call it? Pure software based, and it's kind of a garbage in, garbage out kind of thing because it's built off of a English database that's made by Chinese guys, and they're great guys, and they support their software and stuff, but it's, there's English issues there too sometimes. So it works. Would I buy it now with Word AI? And I wouldn't buy it unless I knew I was going to do a whole lot of manual spinning. Otherwise, a Word AI, Spin Rewriter, those will do just fine for you. Let's see. Vinay, what are some of the courses and tools you recommend keeping an eye out for Black Friday sales? SEO Power Suite would be one. Courses, jeez, I don't even know. I know SIA typically, Dory holds one for SIA. It's kind of self-serving because, I'm there, but SEO Power Suite, they have one during Christmas all the time. Yeah, my schema course, I don't know if I'll do a Black Friday, but we'll see. Let's see what else. It's kind of rare, right? Who else holds them? most of the time it's those people that are pimping through the gurus, like the Charles Float when he makes his list of 100 tools you can get on his affiliate link at this kind of prices, which is smart. Um, it would be cool if Majestic had one. I'd like to get a Majestic account. I don't use them right now, but it would be nice to see one come out of there. What else? What else would I do? I think that's kind of it right now. I get a little stingy on tools. Oh yeah, SEO Autopilot, that would be a good one. Like I said, I'm getting a little stingy on things that I buy, right, and what I use. So nowadays, for keyword research, I'm using Keyword Cupid. I think I talked about that with you guys before, and SE Cockpit. That's what I use for keyword research. For content, like finding content research, finding and stuff, I use Content Explorer and Ahrefs. For backlinks, I use Ahrefs and SEO Spyglass. That's that software I showed you the window of. It is not done yet. And then when I'm doing audits, I go full out with the Moz, the Majestic, the SEO Spyglass, Google, Search Console, and link research tools, and Ahrefs. But for the most part, those are all shut off most of the time. Let's see. What else? What the hell else do I use? I use SEM Rush. I like that. I use Sitebulb, Screaming Frog. But for the most part, I think I'm tooled out. SEO Autopilot for links, XRumor, and GSA. Yeah, but I think that's it. SynLab crap. Yeah, SynLab's been junk for a while. They tried to revive it, make it better, but I tried another one, Rank Snap. Turd. Save your money. That's a turd. And I tried, what else did I try? I tried Ranker X. I just couldn't get into it. You know what I mean? So I didn't give it a fair shot, but I wasn't really couldn't get into it. Oh, let's see. Are you on the SEO AP on the 5th? Yeah, Elias asked me to do a webinar with him on the 5th, so we'll do that together. I don't know what. He just asked me if I wanted to be on. He didn't ask me a topic or anything. He just said, "You're going to be on." Okay. so I had no clue what I'm going to talk about, but we'll see how that goes. And then I got SEO Rockstars coming up 17th and through the 19th. So that'll be a good time. Looking for that. All right. Where the hell are we? You guys distracted me. Audits. Okay, we're at audit time. If you guys remember, or if you haven't, I'll catch you up. We're doing an audit for a legal site, and that legal site is right here. Hirsch and Lyon Accident Law Group, and we already went over the on-page stuff. I think I kind of beat that down with a dead horse. I want to do the schema for that. I'll write it. I'll actually do a video for what ranks for my course, and then I'll bring that on and just kind of show you the highlights. You'll miss the actual writing stuff, but you'll get to see the highlights and stuff, so that'll work out. And during the course of that, I think now what we're at is actually looking at backlinks, looking at competition, anchor tech ratios, and all that other stuff as part of our audit set. And I was trying to run this, and it looks like it's going to be slow. I don't care about that. I'm trying to force it to jump a little bit higher here. I don't care about that. And we don't care about that. And there's no backlinks inside of SEO Spyglasses database. No big deal. I'll close that. I don't want to just close it. I don't need it. There's no backlinks. I don't need you. Close, mofo. So the next thing we can do is look at Ahrefs. I will tell you that if you're going to do a real backlink audit, you need all the tools. You need Ahrefs, Moz, Majestic, and Moz to do this. And preferably, you would even want to use something, depending on your scale of your agency and stuff. You want to start looking at link research tools, which kind of pulls in from all those places. There's 25 data sources in link research tools. I will tell you that those 25 data sources miss out on links that these other services get you. So you want to be able, if you're going to do a real link audit as part of an audit process, you need to go full on. You need to get all of the links going. Where did my chat? Okay, so you need to make sure you get all of the links. But if you're just doing it, hey, I'm starting out, right, and I'm just doing this audit to kind of secure a client, then one of them tools is enough. Remember that the one tool that you actually show them is the one you're going to get hooked on. So if you start showing them Moz and then switch over to Ahrefs, you're going to have a little bit of a pushback because they're going to think you're trying to hide something. So if your reporting is done with Ahrefs, which is usually what mine is in, then always show them Ahrefs as your front side. This is the front side metric tool that you're using to measure their stuff. Don't get cute with them and try to show something else. In this case, we're looking at them and it's 3 backlinks, 3 referring domains. I could tell you that if I looked at them in Majestic, it's probably more. I don't have an account over there, but let's see if we get lucky and they let me check it out. Nothing there. So it's kind of right? And then they're not even let me see it. Greedy bastards. So if this, we know this page is on the first page of Google. We know that this says 3. We know Majestic says there's only 0. What can we assume? 1, either the ranking competition on these pages is really, really easy, which it's Phoenix personal injury lawyers, for crying out loud. It's not easy. 2, they have like the best internal linking on the planet. My guess is not, especially after we looked at their site bulb audit, right? And we saw the the visualization and the site structure. It's okay. Or 3, there's probably a bunch of personal PBNs pointing at the website. All not necessarily bad, but you just kind of know that you're going after that. And you're going to have to do that and look at it from the perspective of thinking that way when you're doing a backlink analysis. I'm going to go switch to domain. And we're looking at all of their backlinks. And let's sort by DR. Yeah, and see they got some decent stuff here. BBB, everyone can get that. WP Engine. This is probably a rebuild of their website. And this is be a good in for you. Let me see. Site not available. Yeah, it's not available. I bet you they were doing, that's where their dev version is, right? Let's see. Profile lawyers, fine law. Everyone should have fine law. Redmine. What is this? That is horrible. That's a link form. Let's see. Avo. I don't know what Avo is. Yellow Pages, Crunchbase. Some of these are pretty decent. I'm going to skip through and do some more. HG Law Forms. I think this is, another directory. Let's see. Self-growth. This is a directory. Yeah, it's even older directory. So you see a lot of this site is pushed by directories. And I didn't look at the homepage, and I think there's a link to the Phoenix page here. Wrongful death. Which all those directories might be pushing it to the Phoenix page. It's a sound idea. I don't see it though. Interesting. Let's see. Wanacle. Let's see what this directory is. It's another law directory. It's actually pretty good. And it leads to fine law or Justia. It's a Justia supported database is what it is. It's making links for Justia. It's interesting. I'm just going to click to one of these. To the website. Lawyer profile. Let's see what this does. Social media. Responsive law. What the hell is that? So this would, if you're a lawyer, this would be a good one to get into. Maybe you can get into Justia that way. So that's really the process of auditing the links, right? On this site, and you kind of typically what I do is I just download them all. I'll sort them, delete, or move over the trash into a move the trash over into another tab or another sheet inside of Excel, and just go through and find all the good stuff. Look at the links and find the most obvious trash and build a nice disavow file. And when you're using the disavow, whether you need it or not, you kind of add a little signal to Google saying, hey, I actually pay attention and I keep my stuff kind of clean. And that's good for you. Here's another. This is the same linking structure as the other one. So my bet is it's probably tied to Justia at the same time. US legal. Might be not, but it seems like the same thing. Anyway, so you go through and you look at all this stuff and find the bad stuff, disavow the bad stuff, build a little bit of trust. The bad stuff's probably not helping you rank anyway. You're going to find the bad stuff all the way down here in the 84s. Obviously, there'll be some other junk in there as time goes on, but this one, Gilbert Accident Lawyer, this is a redirect. Yep. See? So that's where their backlinks are coming from. Gilbert Accident Lawyer, wrongful death, Hirsch Law, Awatuki Accident Lawyer, wrongful death, trucking. So Chandler Injury Law, 301. Chandler Injury Attorney, 301. Why does it go there? That would trigger a soft 404 inside of Google Analytics. I would fix that. There's no power though. Property damage to trucking. It's dumb. You could have this property damage right here, right? Is property damage. Go to the property damage page and build links to this and filter link juice through there. So if you know that your links get fried, you can just cut this 301 redirect off and you're done. Wrongful death. I know the site has wrongful death. I know the site has automobile and motorcycle accident stuff. So the 3 directs are kind of jacked. It's like good idea, piss poor execution. Premises, property damage. That's right. Property damage. That one they actually did right. These all look okay. Jump back some more. Premises, liability. Those are page per page 301 redirects. That's actually not too bad. And we'll jump some more. Yeah, most of this is all 301 stuff. So you found that's how the lawyer's ranking, right? So this one's ranking by 301s. They're missing out. The DR and UR, the domain that they have originally, is kind of bleh. My guess is they probably made a whole bunch of PPL sites and then gave up and just redirected everything over. Would I have done that? I don't know. I wouldn't have done it if they didn't have any power. You know what I mean? So why do a 301 if you're not capturing anything out of it other than having the 301? And by this indication, there's nothing pointing at these. So that kind of blows. And then finally we look at anchor text, and this is kind of the meat and potatoes of your link audits. You want to look at the anchor text of the top 10 pages that are ranking, or the ones that are above you if you're in the top 10 already, and find out the anchor text ratio and how they're using that and how they're linking to their website. So we know this is a personal injury lawyer. There's personal injury, and then there's all these other random ones. I look at these, and I've talked about this before, so I won't dive too deep into it, but there's like 15 or 20 different versions of anchor text, from URL only to brand plus anchors to partial match to exact match to generics to entities, all that stuff. And you add all that together and you look at the percentages of what Google's using to rank everyone's pages. And then that's kind of your target for when you're doing your roadmap for link building, when you're doing anchor text, and you can kind of hand that off safely to a VA or a link builder and say, I need this many in all of these anchor text. Here's the anchor text counts, how many links I need. And if you even want to get as granular, you can actually give them a target DR or UR or PA or trust flow that you're going after from your link sites, and that actually makes that process a whole lot faster. This one is actually pretty sound. Honestly, I would have liked, since this is we have it set to domain. I would kind of expect to see the brand name appear as the number one, right? So, and then the URLs and stuff, they're really kind of tough in there. Truck accidents, dog bites, wrongful death. These are all broad for a lawyer. And so even though we know Google is showing local results for truck accidents, for example, you kind of don't want to get that broad when you're doing it, especially for local, if you're not going to, or if you're staying in that area. So let's do Phoenix truck accidents. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they're not there. There they are, number 10. So we know that Phoenix truck accidents is just not, it's not cutting it for them. They need to have some Phoenix turns in there. Let's look for Phoenix. There you go. Personal injury attorneys, lawyers. Let's go Phoenix truck accidents. See if they're even building any. There's none, right? So I bet, my guess is, with the power that they got with the truck accidents thing, they could probably make a few of these for Phoenix truck accidents and knock these guys up into at least top 5, if not into the top 3, pretty easily with maybe 10, 15 links, exact match. So having an anchor text profile like this one, where it's a little bit more open and diverse, right, is good. But if you're veering away from exact match, you're kind of kicking yourself in the foot. You're kicking yourself in the balls. Don't listen to the percentages. Oh, you can only use 1% exact match, or you're going to be over optimized. That's complete and utter bull crap. Look at what the algorithm is telling you. And if the algorithm is telling you you can hit some exact match up to 9, 15, 21, 25, 40%, then hit the exact match. Okay. All right. So talked a long time. That's really kind of the it for looking at the link profiles. Link type, link diversity, and link cleanups. I glazed over that a little bit. The link type is really, a lot of us, we kind of get into a habit, like SEO autopilot, for example. Like, get into the habit is pretty easy, and I can go ahead and use that. And I know I want to use contextual links to my website, and then you use that over and over and over again, and then now you have a lack of link diversity. So you kind of want to make sure that you're doing that. Do all kinds though. Don't just do, in context articles or guest posts or article directories, whatever you want to call them today. Throw in some forum stuff, throw in some comment stuff. It's nothing to do 2 or 3 blog comments a day, or have a VA do 10 a week, for a client. And it's not going to hurt them, especially if they're doing them on good websites. They're doing them on good websites with less than 150 comments or more. If it's actually a legit, cool, going on site, those are all going to help. So, look at that when you're looking at and auditing the link profiles. See if you can find some catches in there. If you feel, if you really wanted to get into link profiles and link types, I look at the link profiles for adult stuff, and you can find, you'll find a lot of focus on software-based types. There's a lot of focus on forums and all that stuff, and that's all there because it all works. It all ranks in that market. So look at that, and you can kind of define out what the different types of the worst are, and then go into your normal websites and look at it and go, okay, where can I add a little bit more diversity to this thing? So, they got a whole bunch of guest posts, but they don't have any Facebook shares and Twitter and Pinterest. Get in there and actually build that stuff out for them. And then finally, link cleanups. Like I said, go through your Excel file, find all the ones that are just complete garbage. They're junk. You have no doubt that they're junk, and throw them in the disavow file. Whether or not the disavow file works when you do that, it doesn't matter. You're just putting in bad URLs, and you're showing Google that you actually care. You're showing the algorithm that you care, and it's kind of building up the trust with the math, so that they know that you're on top of it, and that you're going through this and you're cleaning it up and you're paying attention to it. And that also helps if you're subjected to a manual review because someone in your niche is playing narc SEO. They can't beat you, so they'll just report you and try to get you in trouble. If the manual reviewer goes in there, and I've done thousands of penalty recoveries, if they go in there and they see you have a disavow file and you're actively updating it and you're actively keeping on top of your link profile and you're keeping it clean, they're way less likely to burn you because of a narc SEO. So think about that at the same time. All right. I think I missed some questions because my chat thing crashed. So the last question that I have saved, well, everything from 235 on I have. So if you had anything before that, you're gonna have to retype it. I apologize for that because I'm not opening up YouTube. All right. So let's see. Britt, did you use any tools to see if they're blocking Ahrefs or SEMrush? Really, if it's not in there and they don't have and they have 0, it's shut up. It's pretty safe to say that they're blocking the tools, and that's an old habit from PBN, building PBNs. You build up your site, you put that link jacker or whatever the hell thing it was that updated your robots txt, and it kept all the crawler bots out of there from reporting your PBNs. And if you notice, the people that were talking about that, not too long afterwards, they were all crying because all their PBNs were found in the index. So to me, the number one indicator of a PBN would be to actually put that tool on. So don't use it, right? And then on the flip side, you see if any tools are blocking those things. If they're blocking all of them, there's no way you're going to find the backlinks unless you start finding the footprint to how they're linking to their website. And you can use Google and reverse engineer that. Site Explorer inside of Bing. In the old days, you could actually reverse engineer and find everyone's PBNs. And then they killed it. And now it's back, and I haven't actually tried those methods again. So that might be something you look at, Site Explorer and Bing too. Britt, are you using any tools from Ranking Factory? Right now I use the Mega Cloud Stacker. That's pretty much it. The Ranking Factory, the original software, I got it to build whatchamacallit? Google sites, but it's faster to use the Google site interface than to go through that process. And then but there's a couple tools in there that actually still work, semi decent. But for the most part, it's Backlink Factory and the Mega Cloud Stacker are the two that I use, and that's it. And that's because if you don't know, the new Google Drive, when you go in there on your browser and make a new folder, it's set to anyone with a link can view, but it's not necessarily public, so they don't index and they don't pass use. But if you build it with the API, it says public to the web. And the Ranking Factory tools are hooked up to do that, public to the web. So you can actually use Ranking Factory, the original software, make your folders and subfolders. It's all public to the web, and then use whatever you want to make the documents and all that stuff inside of there. Staxio is the same way. Test. There you go. I don't know what that's about. That's weird. I cleaned my computer the other day, so things are disconnecting and reconnecting. And it's kind of hot in here. All right. Let's see. Where are we at? No sound. I am moving the screen. Can't see me either. Well, at least I didn't talk for like 10 minutes. Let's see. Where are we at now? All right. So CMOS, that's the one I think I went out on, right? Someone need both Cora and Pop. Would Sight Bulb and Pop cover pretty much the same basics instead of much lower costs? If you're only doing basics and that's all you want to ever do and you never want to get into advanced stuff, then go ahead and use Pop and Sight Bulb together and you'll be fine. Or Surfer and Sight Bulb together, you'll be fine. If you only want to do basics. When you're ready to step up your game and actually be a powerhouse, go ahead and bring Cora Lite and Cora into your data set, and you'll be on point. Let's see. Crapped out just after my ranking factory acquire. Okay, good. Yeah, so that's the one. CMOS's question: Cora and Pop. Mm-hmm. Any other questions? How would one go about doing a narc SEO attack? I don't know. Go find a rat and have them teach you. Just go find a rat or a weasel and have them teach you how. You can go study Joy Hawkins. She's the queen of narc SEO. You can go learn from her and she'll hook you up on how to be a tattletale. Let's see. Britt just had one question about homepage anchor text. Shoot, Britt, go ahead. That's Ratatouille. Ratatouille, Steve. Lots of them narcs and local. Yeah. I kind of blame Google for the proliferation of narc SEO. So you kind of hear me out. Google is an ads driven company and they want to get the most money they can out of advertisements, right? So in particular, if we stick with GMB map spam, they have zero intention of actually cleaning that up. Seriously. They'll set things up to actually catch the most obvious stuff, right? But for the most part, they're not going to go chase down people in their gajillion billions of maps. There's no money in it for them. There's more money in Google keeping that map spam there because it drives more people where? To PPC, right? Because you're never going to get above the spam. And there's so much spam there, and you're not going to keep wasting money over and over again when all people have to do is change your business name and put the exact match in there, and they boom right up on top of you. And so that you get used to that, and then you go, all right, I'm going to just pay for ads. The same is with organic and local. Home Advisor, Angie's List, same company, two different websites, taking over local. Yelp, and then a few other of those directories. And they promote those higher so that businesses either have to do one of two things: invest more money to rank above that directory or pay for ads. And then that's where the narc SEO stuff came in. People are just spending their time reporting map spam. Like it really makes a difference. I know dudes with 2, 3, 4, 10,000 maps. They could give two shits less when they die because they just remake it and they're good for until the next Google cleanout once a quarter. They don't care. It's worth it to them, and it's worth it to Google to keep that stuff going. Let's see. Have you ever converted email campaigns from MailChimp into web archives, then use that as links and use those? Actually, Aweber used to have those, where you send out and they have a URL for your for your email. I didn't know that MailChimp was doing that. Those used to work actually pretty good, so I would check it out, look into and see if there's a URL from that MailChimp that leads to the email that you send. Like I said, Aweber used to have it. It's been quite a while since I looked at it, but and then see if it's a no follow or do follow link. As long as it's not blocked, then send some backlinks to it. See what happens. That's how I would do it. Let's see, Britt. If a homepage is ranking for a service-based query, would you analyze the homepage or service page for its competitors? I would analyze the top 10. So if the homepage is there competing with everyone else's internal page, Google thinks your homepage is good enough to compete with the other internal pages. So I would analyze what's in the top 10 and not concern myself with homepage versus internal page. Because why? Kids, do we know why? Google ranks blank, not blank. I think I've said that before. Google ranks blank, not blank. And yeah, this still applies whether you're comparing the pages, page against page, or anchor text against anchor text, because Google ranks blank, not blank. What are we talking about? Pages, not sites. Bingo, Melissa. Google ranks pages, not sites. So, yeah, that's kind of how you handle that. And Google's being weird, even in obscure. Like I have a client that's a mobile app, and we built this whole great silo out for him, right? And then we link to the converting page, our money pages for the app, and the content that we addressed on the internal pages is actually somehow the money pages that we're trying to rank. Those are the ones that are ranking, despite the fact that we have content to answer specific questions. So it's kind of weird. So Google ranks pages, not sites. So when you're comparing a home page that is ranking and competing with other people's services pages, compare that one-to-one. Service page against that home page. Anchor text of that service page against the anchor text of the home page. And that'll get you where you're going. Let's see. All right. I think that we're good. It was a good show, guys. I appreciate all of you coming. I appreciate all you interacting with me, putting up with the audio thing. I don't know what's going on. I'll get a better handle of that pretty soon. I'm actually thinking about, and if any of you have one, the Loop Deck live stream. I'm thinking about getting that, and I'm also thinking about switching from my Bluetooth or Blue Nano, I think is what it's called, to maybe a Heil microphone. But we'll see how that goes. Typically, I think really at the end of the day, my computer's just I got this in 2014, 2015. So it's probably time for an upgrade. It still works perfectly fine. It's just in the desert, things get hot here and I got all the lights and stuff. So maybe that's what's causing some of those issues, but I appreciate all your patience with that stuff, and giving me the heads up. If I get some time this week, I'll edit that all out and pull it out. Next week, I cannot guarantee that I'm going to do a show. It's my wife's birthday weekend, so we're going out to a cabin. I have some, check out some of the other part of Arizona and stuff, and I'll be driving back on Sunday, and I typically put the show together on Sunday. So I don't know that I'll actually have a show, but we will see. And I look forward to speaking to all of you then. And then I'll leave this with my typical capitalist stuff. If you are looking for a conference to go to, check out SEO Rockstars. It's seorockstars.xyz. Yeah, seorockstars.us. So check it out. We got a whole bunch of cool speakers. Let me show you on the screen here. Brian Dean, Matthew Woodward, Perry Belcher, Jerry Rest. He's the first guy I ever heard talk about PBNs and all that stuff, and I've been following him since my baby SEO days. Ryan Stewart, Dixon Jones from InLinks, Carolyn Holtzman, Bill Hartzer is going to talk about domains. Ryan's probably going to talk about project management. Mike Long from OMG and all that stuff. He's going to talk to us a little bit with two other guys. They're down here, Eric and Michael, about selling and agency stuff and growing your agency. Robert's going to talk about CRO. Marie, I'm not really sure on her topic yet. Terry's going to be there. Just looked over his presentation. That's going to be a good one. You guys are going to like that. Moon's going to be there. Ted's going to be there talking about stuff. Matt is going to be there talking about selling. Marty's going to talk about positioning. Jeez, this guy's going to be awesome. Key's going to talk about, I haven't even heard what he's going to talk about. We got Michael from Surfer SEO. He's preparing his presentation already. Sam Elizabeth, where she's going to be talking about web design and SEO and how those two, kind of collide and work together. Roger is database marketing. Leon's going to talk about sales. Lisa's going to talk about sales. Robert, not entirely sure what he's going to be there. We got Mike and Brad coming. Jeff, the Craig Campbell, Nanomites, Craig Campbell, he's going to be there. And as I said, Eric and Michael. And we're always looking out for new people. We always kind of want to bring that too. So come check it out. It's 100% no pitch. It's going to be 100% digital. It's sponsored by ODYS Global. If you want to start doing PBN stuff, this is probably the best time to do it. You get in with Alex Drew and his crew at ODYS Global, find some sites, and then spend some time listening to Jerry and Bill and let's see who else. Probably Brad and Mike and Craig, and put their stuff together and build a nice PBN network. If you are using ODYS Global, mention SEO Rockstars and you'll get a discount. They were great for us this year, and they're really the reason why we get to keep it 100% no pitch. So we're looking forward to that entire conference. So, all right, that's it. Hopefully see you guys next week. Have a good week.